Good morning, students. I hope you all are healthy and safe at your home. So, students, in today's social science class, we'll be starting a new chapter, that is chapter number 4, Studying the Earth. In this chapter, we'll study how we can study a part of a earth or a earth as whole, right? Now, for studying the earth or any part of a earth, we definitely need some reference. We can't go and visit each and every place to study it, to know about it, right? So, what is that reference that we can use to study the earth? Let's see. So, we can use maps to study the earth, right? Now, what are maps? You all must have studied about this in your previous classes, right? So, let's quickly revise this topic. Maps are basically the drawing of earth or a part of earth on a piece of a flat paper, right? We can use maps to study a part of a earth or the entire earth, right? So suppose you people are traveling to a place, a new place, and you hardly know anything about that place. So what you will do? You will definitely need some reference. You can't really ask each and every person about a place. You definitely need some reference, and that reference is a map, right? We can use the physical version of that map, or nowadays we have a digital version of maps. We have Google Maps in our phones, in our cars, for navigation, right? So that is also the reference that we are using, but that is in digital form. Now, for maps, the person who makes maps is called cartographer, right? Now let's study about the types of maps. Okay, so the first type is a physical map. A physical map, it shows the physical features of a particular place or a particular country or a particular region, right? So what are the physical features? Like mountains, lakes, rivers. You can see in this picture over here, there are some colors, right? So the green color indicates forest area, blue color indicates water bodies, right? The brown area indicates mountain region, or the yellow and the orange one indicates plains and plateaus, right? Now the next comes the political map. Now this is the most commonly used map. You all must have seen this one. So a political map, what it shows the political boundaries of a country, right? Of a state or a capital. Like you can see in this one, this map shows the political boundaries of states and of the India, right? See, the Rajasthan, it is separated, its boundary is highlighted, Madhya Pradesh, then there is Orissa, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh. So all the boundaries are clearly visible. Next is resource map. Now, what is a resource map? A resource map is a map which shows the resources found in a particular area. Like if you can see in this map, this is a reference map, you can clearly see this map indicates where you can find gold, where you can find oil, where you can find uranium. The similar thing we can create for our country, we can create for our state as well. We can indicate in that map where we can find all these resources. So a resource map help us find, or it can easily help us locate resources found in a particular area. Now next comes, now this one is a climatic map, right? So this shows the climate of a particular region, particular area, or for entire earth or for entire globe as well, right? Now let's see. Here we have some keys. You can see on this side there are some blue, green, yellow, red and orange keys. The blue color indicates polar regions. The green color indicates temperate regions. So this indicates the climate of that particular region, and it also shows the level of rainfall. Okay. Next is topographic maps. Now what are topographic maps? These maps basically shows the contour lines, right? The elevations of a particular area. It can be road, it can be lakes, it can be ditches, right? And last comes the transportation maps. The one, if you remember in the starting of this video, I mentioned the digital maps. you can see this map there very easily. Like if you are traveling in a car and you have turned on your GPS, you can see this sort of a map to find and locate the place, right? Suppose you're traveling from one part of the city to the other part of the city, you need to see this map, right? Where you'll find the most traffic area, right? So this map shows the railway lines, roads, and bus area, tracks, you can say, the railway tracks, you can say, all sort of transportation tracks you can easily find in a transportation map. Now students, other than these maps, there are some other types of maps as well. We can customize maps according to our needs. Suppose if we want a map for a city, we can easily create one. If we want a map basically just for the, if I want to create a map to show where we can find the tree plantation, I can create a map for that as well, right? So it depends. Now students, I hope you all understood these types. Now these were just the types of the maps, right? We need to study how we can read a map. Now that is a different task. Knowing about a map is a separate thing and to read a map is a separate thing. Now let's continue with this. I will explain you this in brief, and in our online class we'll discuss this chapter in detail. So please attend your online class. Now let's continue and I'll explain you how to read a map. Okay students, now let's understand how to read a map. Now to read a map, we need to follow 5 D's. First D is description. Every map has a name, number, scale, legend and symbols. You all know about these, right? We'll discuss this in online class in detail. Next comes the detail. The symbols are the language of map. They explain the layout, right? So this includes the symbols, the language of map. There are certain symbols given on a map to understand it in a better way, right? Now let's see the next one. Next comes the directions. Now you can't really read a map without knowing the directions. So north, south, east, west, these are the 4 main directions and we call them cardinal directions, right? And other than these directions, there are 4 more directions: northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest. These are the intermediate directions. Now this direction is between north and east, so we call it northeast. This one is between south and east, so we call it southeast. So the main directions are called cardinal directions and the one in between are called intermediate directions. Next comes the distance. Now distance is also a major and important aspect of reading a map. Now suppose if you define a particular distance between 2 places is like about 30 kilometers. You can't really show 30 kilometers on a map. So how you will show? You will show it with the help of a scale. You can change it to 30 centimeter or even less than that, right? So we use scale to show the larger distance, larger areas. Next comes the designation. For the ease of understanding, various features on maps are written on the different styles for proper representation and saving paper. For example, water bodies are always represented by blue color. Now designation is to assign a particular color, a particular symbol to a particular thing. Like water bodies are always shown in blue color, whether it's a river, whether it's ocean, whether it's a lake or whether it's a pond, right? It's always shown in blue color. The same thing goes for the plain. Plains are represented by green or highlands are marked with the brown, right? So why so? This is to save the space on the map. If we'll keep using different colors, it will be very difficult for us to distinguish between those colors, right? So students, we'll study about this chapter in detail in online class. Be there, take care of yourselves and see you all there.